Hello, this is McD the Beast, and this is McD Sports 4 coming to you today with my March Madness bracket. Before I continue, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. Please subscribe to your channel. I really appreciate if you do that. The way we're going to do this, we're going to go through each side of the bracket, then to the final four, and then we're going to break it down. I'll make a quick note to why I'm picking the game the way I am. But March Madness this year, a few quick notes about March Madness. I don't think there's a clear favorite. I think the bracket's wide open, and I don't think there's that team. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be picking Duke to win the whole thing because they want Coach K to go out on a high note. I will come out and say right now, uh, I will take the field over Duke. I'm not picking Duke to win the whole thing, but I don't know. March Madness this year just isn't as special as it is some years, in my opinion. Maybe because my Terps aren't in it. I don't know. But let's get into it. We'll kick it off with the rest bracket. Number 1 seed Gonzaga versus Georgia State. I'll take Gonzaga there in that 116 matchup. I know Georgia State. Usually Georgia State's not your typical 16 seed. Because usually a 16 seed is a mid-major program. You could consider the Sun Belt a mid-major conference, but Georgia State, I think this game might be a little bit closer than some of 116 matchups you've seen in the past, but go ahead, give me the Zags. Boise State versus Memphis. I'm actually going to take Memphis in the 9-8 upset here. To me, this is a pick 'em. I'm think Memphis is just a little more talented. The Mountain West, by the way, and you'll see me talk about the Mountain West a little bit throughout this video. They had a pretty good year for basketball, but I think Memphis goes ahead and beats Boise State. The 5-12 matchup, UConn and New Mexico State. I'm going to take the upset. I'm going with the 12-seeded New Mexico State Aggies. UConn, not a bad team, but there's always usually a 5-12 upset somewhere. I think there's going to be some upsets in this bracket this year. So I'm going to go ahead and I am going to go take New Mexico State here in the upset. Arkansas versus Vermont. I am going to take Arkansas. I do think this Vermont's going to give them everything they can handle, but I'm going to go ahead and take Arkansas. Alabama versus the 11 seed. The 11 seed is either going to be Rutgers or Notre Dame. I do think Rutgers beats Notre Dame, but I do think Alabama beats Rutgers. Nate Oates. I don't know if I said it enough on this channel. I don't think I've said it at all. Nate Oates is the number one guy I want my Maryland Terps to go ahead and get as their head coach. I would at least make the phone call and make him say no to you. So I'm a big fan of Nate Oates. I think Alabama's going to beat Rutgers. Texas Tech versus Montana State. I think this is one of the games that could lead to an upset, but I am going to take Texas Tech here. In my opinion, I just think that Texas Tech is just the better team, so I'm going to go ahead and just take Texas Tech. Michigan State versus Davidson. I'm just gonna trust Tom Izzo here. Part of me wants to pick Davidson, but I'm just gonna trust Tom Izzo here, and I think he'll go ahead and get the win. And then Duke versus CSU Fullerton. I think that's a California school. I'm gonna take Duke in that game. Now, in the round 32 in the West bracket, give me the Zags over Memphis. I just think the Zags are better than Memphis, so go ahead and give me them. New Mexico State versus Arkansas. I'm going to take the upset. And that might be kind of bold there, but I think New Mexico State, I think this team's really good. I've watched them play a few times this season. I'm taking New Mexico State. Alabama versus Texas Tech. Give me Alabama. I think Alabama goes ahead and wins against Texas Tech. Give me Nate Oates. I'm just taking Nate Oates in this. Michigan State versus Duke. I'm just going to take Duke. I think Duke's the better team. I do think this is going to be a hell of a matchup in the round 32, but go ahead and give me Duke. Okay, Sweet 16. The Aggies' magical run ends. I'm going to take the Zags to go ahead and beat New Mexico State. And then I'm going to take Duke to go ahead and beat Alabama. I think this game is going to be really close, but I'm going to go ahead and take Duke. And then in the Elite Eight, I'm going to take Gonzaga over Duke. So go ahead. I have Gonzaga coming out of the West bracket. Now the South bracket. Arizona versus whoever the 16th seed is gonna be. Is either gonna be Wright State or Bryant. I think Bryant is gonna win that game, but I think Arizona wins against Bryant no matter what. Seton Hall versus TCU. I want Seton Hall to lose this game because supposedly that's the coach that Maryland wants, the Seton Hall coach, which I do not want at all. His name escapes me right now. Fortunately, I do think that Seton Hall is going to win this game. So go ahead and give me Seton Hall. Houston versus UAB. Go ahead and give me Houston. Houston's a really good team this year. So go ahead and give me Houston. Illinois versus Chattanooga. I'm going to go ahead and take Illinois in this one. I'm confident that they'll get the win there. Colorado State versus Michigan. I went back and forth for this one. I think this game's to me this is a pick 'em. I'm going to say Michigan pulls off the upset. You see some 6-11 upsets as well. Um, so I'm going to say that Michigan pulls off the upset. Tennessee versus Longwood. Go ahead and give me Tennessee in this one. To be honest, I don't know much about Longwood, so I'm just going to take Tennessee. Ohio State versus Loyola, Chicago. Go ahead and give me Loyola, Chicago in this one. I think they've proven in the past years that they know how to go win these March Madness games. I'm not sold on Ohio State at all. This really going into this March Madness tournament, so I'm gonna go ahead and take the 10-7 upset there. Villanova versus Delaware. I'll take Nova. Um, I just trust Nova more, and that's where it comes down to. So I'll take Nova there. Now the round 32 matchups. I'll take Arizona over Seton Hall. I do think this is gonna be a close game, but I'll take Arizona. Houston versus Illinois. I'll take the 5-4 upset. I'll take Houston to go ahead and beat Illinois. Just not. I mean, Illinois might be the best team in the Big Ten, but I don't know. I just don't trust them. I don't. I'll admit. I only watch college basketball. Really. During the conference tournaments and some for after the Super Bowl. And that's going to change once sports betting becomes legal, which it already is in Maryland, but legal on the internet where I can just do it on my phone. I'm gonna watch more college basketball after that, but go ahead, give me Houston. I think Houston is a very good team. I'm gonna take Tennessee against Michigan. Will not surprise me if Michigan beats Tennessee, but Tennessee they're riding hot. They won the SEC tournament. So go ahead, give me Tennessee. And then I am going to take Nova here. Um, Loyola Chicago. I think. Actually, let me change that. I'm actually going to take Loyola Chicago. Let me backtrack a little bit. Um, I misspoke there. I meant to take Loyola Chicago. Misread my notes there, but Loyola Chicago. I do think that as I said, they know how to win these March Madness games. They're going to pull off a few upsets. I do think they'll make a Sweet 16 run. So they make the Sweet 16. I'm going to make a bold prediction here. I think Houston's going to the Elite Eight. I think they are. Um, Arizona. I watched that game against Colorado, and then I remembered it. And I do think Arizona is one of the top 10 teams in the country. I just think those, in my opinion, I'm just high on Houston. That's really what it comes down to March Madness. Um, it's really one to go home. It's not like a 7-game series like the NBA. Go ahead, give me Houston. I'll take Tennessee against Loyola Chicago. I do think this is gonna be a hell of a game, but I think Tennessee finds a way to win the game. But I am going to take Houston to make the Final Four. I am. I think Houston's gonna be um, I'm telling you, I think Houston's a really good team. I really do. So go ahead, give me Houston to make the Final Four out of the South bracket. Now to the East bracket, Baylor versus Norfolk State. I'll take Baylor to beat Norfolk State. North Carolina versus Marquette. I'll take North Carolina to beat Marquette. St. Mary's versus Wyoming, or I think Iona is the other school that they're facing, or is it here? I'm trying to think. It might be Indiana. I think it's Indiana who they're facing. So it's either Wyoming or Indiana. I'm gonna say Wyoming beats Indiana, but I'm gonna say St. Mary's finds a way to beat whoever's the 12th seed. So go ahead, give me St. Mary's. I think this game's gonna be tight. I think UCLA somehow finds a way to beat Akron though. So I'll go ahead and take UCLA. Texas versus Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech they won the ACC tournament in a shocking fashion. I think it ends though. I like Chris Beard. I think he's a hell of a coach. I think he finds a way to beat Virginia Tech. Go ahead, give me Texas. I'll take Purdue versus Yale. I don't know much about Yale, but I'll take Purdue versus Yale. I'll take Murray State over San Francisco. Murray State, in my opinion, they're 30-2. Murray State, they are a really good basketball team. Murray State. So I'll go ahead and take Murray State. And then Kentucky versus St. Peter's. I'll take Kentucky. Um, in my opinion, I think Kentucky. I'm pretty confident they'll beat St. Peter's. Now the round 32. Part of me wants to go ahead and take North Carolina. I do think North Carolina has a shot against Baylor. I gotta go ahead and take Baylor though. I just think overall, I like their coach. I think they're a really good team overall. I think North Carolina gives Baylor their best shot, but I'm going to take Baylor. I think it's a close game. St. Mary's versus UCLA. I'm actually going to take St. Mary's here. And that might be a bit of a surprise, but I'm going to go ahead and take St. Mary's in the 5-4 upset. I just a gut feeling there. I'm going to take Purdue over Texas. I think Purdue might be one of the best teams in the country. Texas, I think they'll give them Purdue their best shot, but go ahead and give me Purdue. And then I'm actually going to take the 7-2 upset here. I'm taking Murray State over Kentucky. I think Murray State, as I said, they're 30-2. Kentucky, I have watched a lot of Kentucky basketball this season. They to be honest with you, I know they're a 2 seed. They seem up and down. They really do. They struggle against the Tennessees of the world this year. Um, I think Murray State. I think it's an in-state game. Murray State, though, from Kentucky. I think they want to prove to Kentucky they're gonna have a chip on their shoulder this game, and I think they'll beat Kentucky. I do. Now the Sweet 16, I'll take Baylor over St. Mary's. They're just the better team. I'll take Purdue over Murray State. They're just the better team. And then in the Elite Eight game to make the Final four, I'm actually going to take Purdue over Baylor. To me, this is going to be a hell of a game, but my gut tells me Purdue is going to go ahead. They have stuff to improve. I think, had an early exit in the Big Ten tournament. I believe so. So I think they have stuff to improve. I'll take Purdue over Baylor. And then to the Midwest bracket, Kansas against Texas Southern, Texas A&M Christian. I'll take Kansas. I think Kansas overall is the better team. San Diego State versus Creighton. I'm going to take San Diego State here. Creighton, not a bad team, but I think this is going to be a great game. But overall, go ahead and give me San Diego State. Iowa versus Richmond. I'm going to take Iowa here. That might be a bit of a surprise to some people. I don't know. I feel like Richmond is going to be kind of that 12-5 trendy upset pick, but Iowa coming off the Big Ten tournament, they're riding high. I think they continue that into March Madness. Providence versus San Diego State. I went back and forth for this one. I think Providence wins. I think it's a close game though. LSU versus Iowa State. I'm picking Iowa State. LSU, they fired their head coach, Will Wade. They have a bunch of NCAA sanctions about to be dropped on them. I think Iowa State gets LSU at the perfect time. Go ahead and give me Iowa State. And I'll take Wisconsin to beat Colgate in that 3-14 matchup. I think that I just think Wisconsin's better. I don't know much about Colgate. Southern Cal versus Miami. I'm actually going to take Miami in the 10-7 upset. I don't know, just have a feeling. I'll go ahead and take Miami. And then I'll take Auburn versus Jacksonville State. I think Auburn should take care of Jacksonville State. Now the round 32. Give me Kansas versus Iowa versus San Diego State. They will be facing Iowa, however, in the Elite 16, in my opinion. But I think Kansas is just better than San Diego State. Go ahead and give me Iowa over Providence. I don't know. I just have a gut feeling. I just do. Iowa State versus Wisconsin. I'll take Wisconsin. Wisconsin's just the better team, and I'll go ahead and take Auburn. I think they're the better team. In the Sweet 16, I'm going to go ahead and take Kansas. I mean, Their head coach at Iowa has not gotten out of round 32 since he's been there, I'm pretty sure. This is going to be their first ever Sweet 16. Kansas, Bill Self. I'm just taking Bill Self over. I think it's McKinney. McCanney is the coach's name. Fred McCanney, if I'm not mistaken, there at Iowa. Just go ahead, give me Kansas. I'm going to actually go ahead and I'm going to take Wisconsin here in the Sweet 16. A bit of an upset. I don't know, just a gut feeling. I am going to take Kansas, however, to make the Final Four. So I have Kansas coming out of the Midwest bracket. So my Final Four in New Orleans on April 2nd is going to be Gonzaga versus Purdue and Houston versus Kansas. And the first game here, Gonzaga versus Purdue, I'm going to take Purdue. Gonzaga, I'm just gonna be honest with you. I tend not to pick Gonzaga only because I mean they're out there in that conference. I believe it's the RAC that they're in, or I forget the conference's name out there. And outside of St. Mary's, they really don't face anybody. So, and they did lose to St. Mary's once this year, which I think is great. Because they usually beat up on St. Mary's, but I don't know. I just have a gut feeling Purdue's making it to the national championship, and I'm actually going to take Houston here. Um, as I said at the beginning of the video, I do think that not Houston. I do think that March Madness overall this year, I don't think there's a clear favorite. I'm high on Houston, so I'm going to take Houston here. And then for my national championship, I want to pick Purdue. I think Purdue wins the game. I think Purdue is your March Madness national champs. I guess we're gonna take the $5,000 gift card. But anyways, as you can see, I'm gonna submit my picks right here. Well, I'm not gonna give you my information, but anyways, thanks for watching the video. As you saw, I have Purdue winning the March Madness bracket. Thanks for watching. This is McD the Beast signing off.